Hi there YouTube. For this week's video we're going to jump around on multiple vehicles because I got little jobs to do on all of them. If you're new to the channel, it'll be like an introduction to everything. If you've been here for a while, it'll be like an update. First we're going to start with this Jeep. I'm going to do a few mods on that. When it warms up we'll go jump on something outside. So let's get into it before the train gets here. Oh, there it is. Okay, on the last video I set an engine and transmission inside the frame. They're just sitting on jack stands and blocks and stuff. And then I set the body on top, which is the first time it went back on since I took it off. Here's where I cut the firewall out, and that's the piece that's going to go back in. It's going to be back about 4 or 5 inches from where it was before. And since the last video I trimmed out the firewall a little more to make things fit. I got a little more trimming to do, but I want to get the engine and transmission mounted so I know where it's going to be for sure, and then I can just do a final trim and start patching stuff back together. So what I'm going to start with is taking the body off the frame again. I'm glad that I made it easy for myself because I'm probably going to have to take it off 5 or 10 times, I bet. And then we're going to get in here and cut out these mounts. See about putting some engine mounts on here. Get it bolted in. I do have some engine mounts for a van. It might work a little better. The ones that are on the engine right now are for a truck, like a F-Series truck. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pull this body off real quick and then get into it. Start grinding these rivets out. Other side's going to be a little harder because it has a few welds on it too. Okay, I got the body off. Just took the headers off. Got this tower off. That was 4 rivets on that one. This one had 5 rivets. There's 3 on the bottom. And I got a few welds to grind, so I'm going to have to pull the engine out of the way to get in there and do some grinding, and then I can get that off. So I think I'm going to try to mark something so I have an idea where I want to put it, and we'll go from there. Up next is the 82 F100. I did an engine swap on this last summer. Went from a 6-cylinder to a V8. I used the old thermostat and now I'm paying for it. It don't overheat, but it runs extra warm. And then sometimes the thermostat will open all the way and it'll cool right back down. I already drained some of the antifreeze, so shouldn't be too hard of a job. Couple clamps, couple bolts. Sorry about the wind. If you hear that, it's windy. Can't do nothing about it. That's how it goes. Alright, the thermostat's done. I didn't record any of that because it's just a thermostat. Not a big deal, but it's done. We can move on to another vehicle. Case closed. Next we're going to work on the 76 E250. I have an oil leak on this thing that's keeps getting worse. Take care of that. Show you what's going on, I think. Get you down in here so you can see what I'm looking at. Okay, right over here is my oil pressure sender. I think the oil leak's coming somewhere from in here. Just gonna take all these pieces apart, put in a new sender, change this plastic line because it's really old, probably won't last long. Throw a little thread sealer on everything. Hopefully that takes care of the oil leak, or at least one of the oil leaks. Alright, I'll get into it. Alright, I think the oil leak was coming from here. This was kind of loose. See, it's pretty nasty. But also the pressure sensor is this top piece. Get it here, okay. Just loose. Damn it. This top piece is all loose, so it's probably leaking out of that too. Clean everything up, put it back together. I got everything back together. I used the copper line this time for the oil gauge. The pressure sensor was for a dummy light, but just ran it. I don't see anything leaking. Go ahead and slap everything back together, call it good. Another case closed. Sun's starting to go down. We're gonna jump into one more vehicle, the 98 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Since I've changed the fuel pressure regulator on this thing, I haven't had any problems. The only issue I'm having is the dash lights like to flicker sometimes and just go out. Pretty sure I know what that is. Down here you can see the light switch, and then here's your dimmer switch. I've had a problem with this before. These two switches are connected together with some solder in there, and last time I had a problem with it, the solder cracked. So we're going to take this out, see if we can repair that again. Just got to pull this trim piece off. 4 Phillips screws in there, and we'll have the switch out. I was wrong about just taking 4 screws out. I had to take the trim piece off the top here, and I just pried this one out enough that I could get the bottom screw out. And so now we'll go take it in the garage, check it out, see if I can just solder that back together, fix it again. So I don't remember what I recorded last, but I think I was taking the engine towers out. Now I have both of those out, and the transmission brackets for the cross member are out, and the engine is back in the frame rails. Now I think it's time to make it a little more permanent. I did move it back a little farther, like 3/4 of an inch. Originally I made a mark right here that lined up with the bolt on that mount. I like the way it fits a little better. I don't know about with the body. So now I'd like to build some kind of tower mount assembly thing here. Try to get the motor halfway mounted in, so I know where everything's going to have to sit. These engine mounts are out of a F-Series truck, like 80s, 90s. Actually came out of a 96 Bronco. I have another set of mounts that came out of a van. I think the 85 van. I believe the 76 van ones were the same too. I'm going to try and put that on there because I think it's going to put it pretty close to the frame. That should make it a lot easier than trying to build a whole thing here. So I'll do that next. We'll see what it looks like. Just for reference, this is my fist. It fits about right to the end of that bolt. And then we'll put the other mount on and see what the distance is. Alright, it's the next day. Worked on this kind of late last night. Went ahead and put the van engine mount on. It is closer to the frame. Remember, I had to fit a fist in between the old one. The issue I think I'll have is it comes down a lot lower and the steering runs right through here. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be using that steering or what I'm going to be doing with the front axle yet, so got to take all of that into consideration. I think I will use the F-Series engine mounts and just build a tower out to it. But the weather's kind of nice out today, so I'm going to go ahead and work on some of the other vehicles, and I'll get back to this. Getting ready to put the headlight switch back in the Grand Cherokee. Show you what I did. The two switches are connected together right here, and this solder will crack. and a loose connection. I fixed this like 12 years ago. It was doing the same thing. So I just heated up the solder again. I added a little more to it this time. Should be good to go. Won't know until I drive it at night. So let's go put this back in. Okay, I got the headlight switch in. Got all the plastic put back in. Of course, I dropped a screw and I can't find it. So I stole one of the easy to get to ones up here and put down in the dash. It'll be easy to put back in when I find it. Alright, I'll have to wait till it's dark to test this out. I'm sure it's fine though. So on to the next one. Okay, I'm back on the blue van, working on the door lock. Haven't been able to use the key in the lock for a couple years because the little clip came loose right here. This is one that I bought from AutoZone. It doesn't quite fit. Originally it had a metal clip on it. And then like a month ago, the thing to pull the lock broke, the little clip. See, that one's destroyed, it's crunchy. So I do have a couple packs of these clips. I'm gonna go see what I got and then slap that back together. It'd be nice to be able to use this door again. Alright, I got this package of little door clips, and it looks like the black one is the best fit. So we'll go ahead and put this back together. Get this door put back together. Start using it again. Yay. Alright, I got the door all put back together. What's next? Alright, this is the last one of the video. Try that again. After the wind dies down and the car goes by. Alright, this is the last one for this video. This is the 84 Chevy G20 van. It's gonna go on a trip soon. Needs a bunch of stuff wrapped up before it goes. I'm looking for something small to do right now. So what we're working on is curtains for the back window. My plan is I'm going to use these corner brackets and some dowel rod for the curtain rod. Curtains are a little long, but I want them to hang down past here so it holds them close to the door. Probably run it down to about here. I'll cut that and deal with that later. Right now I just want to be able to hang them. So I'm going to figure that out and kind of put it all together. And we'll come back and check it out. Alright, it's got curtains now. Both sides. That can be scratched off the list of things to do and work on something else, I guess, but not this weekend because it's about over. Back in the garage, looking at the wheelies again. Okay, so I think I have the engine where I want it, but I should probably test fit the body one more time. Before I mount everything, just double check that everything's gonna fit the way I want. That's gonna wrap it up for this week's video, I think. If you have any questions or comments about any of the vehicles that were in this week's video, I know it was a lot of them, leave it in the comments. I was able to get a lot of stuff done, which is nice to have stuff off the list, which means I can focus on other things a little more. Hope you had more fun this weekend than I did. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.